It's just a message. Hey, Musical Aviator and Megaleech. There's my message for anyone who comes in a bit later. And Strictly Sega. Oh, everyone's coming in early. How about that? Well, I'm leaving you with chickens. I'll shoot my first video. Involves sewer apple. Alrighty. Oh man, I fucked up. I replaced my artwork and I fucked it up. God damn it. Alright. Let me futzing around for a bit here. What do I do? Do I put it closer? Well, that's the problem. That does fix it a problem. Christ. Okay. Hey, honey. Okay. That's ready. Okay. G'day, cocktail lovers. I've been buying a lot of bottles of booze lately. There's been some sales on around me, and I have extremely poor willpower when I see something at a good price. And I got to try something new in this video, something that's quite unusual for me. I got some sour apple liqueur. That's a type of gimmicky thing I almost never get. But this was on sale, and it's from Luxardo, and I think if anyone's going to do sour apple, well, it'll be Luxardo. Big fan of their work with cherries. I'm going to try a few cocktails with this, and they're not really your usual sour apple cocktails. They've got some interesting combinations going on in them. But first, I just want to crack that bottle and actually taste what this is like. It is that traditional green, and it's sour. It's not altogether unpleasant. A slightly weird aftertaste. Oh, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Time for me to try this in a few drinks. The only reason I don't get these sour apple thingies. I found a recipe. For blah, 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 blah. I found a recipe with a sour apple liqueur that's arguably an old-fashioned variation. It was called a Washington apple, and it called for a blended Canadian whiskey, which I don't have. So I'm going to do a blended Australian whiskey. So it's twofold, one of my favorites. And because we grow lots of apples here in Victoria where I live, so this is going to be a Victorian apple. It also called for cranberry juice, which I think is gross, and I happen to have some fresh blood orange juice, so that's what I'll be using. Okay, first part done. Now I've got to do the makey part. Okay. We are going to make this sucker. Bring this light around here. For the GoPro needs more light for its slow-mo function. Crowy! Come here, say hello, mate. Cheers. Okay, so that's all ready to go. Okay, let's... Oh, Christ, did I forget fucking... Oh. Ugh, you know what? Fuck it. Okay, and this. Blood orange. It'll be a very red drink with the blood orange. Alright, now adding some ice. Stir this sucker. Okay, get my stirring stick. Strain this in. Alrighty. Now, to do the last talky bit. Alrighty, so we move the ring light back. Okay, record. G'day cocktail lovers. This is a riff on a drink I found that was called a Washington apple, and because I'm using local ingredients, I'm calling it a Victorian apple. There's a fucking car. G'day cocktail lovers. This is a cocktail featuring a sour apple liqueur. The recipe I found was called a Washington apple. Apparently, they grow a lot of apples in Washington state. Well, they grow a lot of apples here in Victoria where I live, and I'm using some local stuff, so I'm calling this a Victorian apple. Here's how we made it. In a mixing glass, put 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of a blended whiskey, then 1 ounce or 30 mils of your sour apple liqueur, and finally 1 ounce or 30 mils of blood orange juice. Add ice to your glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then strain it into a rocks glass over a big chunk of ice. Arguably a variation on an old-fashioned, but taste-wise, certainly doesn't taste like any old-fashioned I've ever had. Give it a go, you might like it. The Victorian or Washington apple. This is not looking like any old-fashioned I've ever had, despite the fact it was referred to online as an old-fashioned riff. But tasting, I'm not expecting it to taste like an old-fashioned. Surprise, it doesn't really taste like an old-fashioned. I mean, if you wanted a sour drink, go for it. I can't imagine myself drinking this regularly, but I don't hate it. And this is just the first of 3 I'm going to make. Let's get on to the next one. But I'm gonna take a break from making them and sitting down and saying hello. Stop. All right. My goal is to make 3 over the course of this stream. See how I go. Chickens in charge. All right, chickens, you are no longer in charge, but you will doubtless have another chance. Let's turn the banner off because I'm not making the video anymore. And I'm back. And more people joined earlier than I was expecting. So hello, early. Yeah, red this is from the blood orange juice. It's really funny because I put the green sour apple in there and it went green. Didn't stand a chance against the blood orange juice. It's the sort of drink you have if you're trying to hide the fact you're drinking booze. And in case you haven't noticed, that isn't really me. I'm a booze front and center type of guy. Okay, that actually got a bit of pith, more than I wanted. Fuck it, I'm going to fucking injure myself if I keep futzing around. Just going to put some orange peel in there. And you know what? Just because I'm a special boy, I deserve a cherry. Bang. 2 cherries. The gods have spoken. I get 2 cherries tonight. Wasn't my plan, but when the universe speaks and says, you should have 2 cherries, I'm not going to argue. I also want to try this tonight. I've been thinking of getting this for ages, and I saw it on special. Jameson's orange liqueur. An orange liqueur made with Irish whiskey. Hope I don't hate it. Cheers. What's my camera doing? Down a bit more. There we go. Oh, God. Why did I commit? In my head, I thought it would be a good idea. You should do 3 cocktails with the sour apple. A flavor I do not like. Why? Why would I do that to myself? I don't know. I don't know why I would do that to myself. But I did. And here we are. A drink I don't want to drink quickly. Actually, I mean, it's got a reasonable amount of alcohol in it. I mean, what was it, 2 standard drinks? Actually, the combination of the whiskey and the blood orange juice tames the sour down a bit. It's there. It is like kind of eating like a sour warhead lolly. On Twitch, Oswaldo, how are you this fine evening? Just starting out with the drinky. A very unusual drinky for me. But you know what? I like to mix things up occasionally. And tonight's one of those occasions. Everything is going well here. Thank you, Oswaldo. Also, as I like to warn people in case they're unfamiliar when they're watching from Twitch, I'm using a service called StreamYard that lets me restream to YouTube and Facebook and Twitch at the same time. Most people watch me from YouTube, although there's not a huge crowd of people. It's early in the stream, I guess. But some people watch me on Twitch and some people watch me on Facebook. And when I'm talking to someone, I try to remember to put the comment on the screen so people know what I'm responding to. Because otherwise, it kind of looks like I'm talking to myself, which I only do some of the time. Icy Saracen, well, I got 1 person on Twitch. It varies. Sometimes a few people watch from Twitch because at various stages, different channels have actually done a raid on mine when they finished their stream. One was a reasonably big channel and it's like 1,000 people came from his stream and about 500 of them stayed. And it was a Friday night, so it was a long stream. And yeah, about 500 of them stayed. Oswaldo, you're very kind. And yes, Strictly Sega, Facebook too. My schoolmate, who I was hanging out with last week, was briefly watching from Facebook, but he said he's going out. So, but he just stopped by to say hello, which was nice. And it's yes, a good old build up speed, as it were. Hey, Safa, how you doing? Just settling into the groove. Got to decide. Wait, where did I leave my freaking phone? Got to decide what order to make these in. I wanted to do the one in the old-fashioned class first. Oops, what the fuck? So I'm going to do a smoked apple tea. It's not a Scotch and sour apple and something, and Viagra Falls, which has absinthe in it. Question, with all due respect, how old? I am an old man, my friend. That is a respectful question. I am 57. I see Saracen got rejected. Oh, why do I love you? No, that's not good. Feedback said someone, fuck him, man. Job's a job. Suffer upset but realistic about last night. And no, Mrs. Angry, like me, does not give a toss about sports. I think her one thought was she was worried if the Matildas had won, her family in England might make a thing of it. So, Oswaldo, I'm probably not the oldest person on Twitch, but I must be getting up there. I tricked people on YouTube for years, because I've been on YouTube for a long time, because I used to dye my hair. My hair was pre-COVID. My hair was quite short, and so was my beard, and I would dye them dark. So then COVID happened, we're all locked in, and I was like, you know what? To hell with that. And I just growing my hair out and stopping dyeing it, basically. Oh, thanks for all the positive vibes, Oswaldo. That really helps. Oh, yes, I did see people let off, and there's a lot of flares, if I remember rightly from thing. I see Saracen wasn't really popular. Message your group friends. Most of them didn't care for the game. Fair enough. Oh, Australia was losing it. It was just hope people bloody calm the fuck down now. All right. Okay. So you're set to watch it from Amy Park. That's probably a better way to watch it. First ever CD was Queen, Innuendo. Second last Queen album, Freddie was quite sick. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. The theme for tonight, Compact Disc Day, the anniversary of the first commercially produced compact disc. And yes, I think fuel just went up 60 cents a litre this week. Oswaldo, you're in Argentina. Thank you. I very much enjoy having you join the stream for however long you join. And I hope life down there on the South America. Well, we're both the global South, aren't we? South America, South Pacific. Yeah, happy you're having a good time. Speaking of people who like soccer, unless I miss again, and I'm not a sports person, but I feel like football is popular in Argentina. I could be wrong though, because shocking to admit, but I'm regularly wrong. All right, so I'm making 2 more sour apple cocktails. One is built around Scotch and one's built around absinthe. Which one should I make next? Oh, nice. Well, Osvaldo, at text alone, you are doing very well. If you're following me, you're doing okay. So more power to you, my friend. More power to you. Safa, attributed to inventor James. Oh, we're on the Wikipedia. There you go. The Red Book, a document that outlined the size of the disc and the resolution. There you go. Okay, see, Osvaldo, you are absolutely getting in my weak point. Okay, now, my very rudimentary knowledge of sports, Messi or Ronaldo. Messi is contemporary, like he's top of the game now, and Ronaldo was top of the game a few years ago. Didn't Messi just get signed for some freakishly large amount of money? Do a deal to go to a new team for a huge amount of money? I feel like, oh my God, Maradona when he wasn't on the cocaine. My God, oh my God, Maradona was such a character. Oh, speaking of cocaine, Inter Miami. Yeah, okay. God, didn't Ronaldo get that really funny sculpture in an airport somewhere that didn't look anything like him? It was just like humorously, the face on the sculpture was humorously bad. Okay, so Inter Miami is owned by Saudis. Yeah, they're just throwing money around everywhere. Okay, see, I half know tiny things about sport. I was sure I saw stories about Messi going to a new team for just an outrageous amount of money. But then again, he seems to be outrageously better at the game than pretty much anyone else playing it today. Again, that's my extremely rudimentary knowledge of what's what and who's who. So if I ever say anything about sport, huge asterisk, then probably wrong. Oh, you're saying he went from a Saudi Arabian team to Beckham's Inter Miami? See, you just said Saudi Arabia, and I assumed because I know nothing. To quote Sergeant Schultz, showing my age again. Although Hogan's Heroes was already an old show when I was a kid. Ooh, see, Oswaldo, I am always keen to find new drinks. The bar, that's the whiskey shelf, the gin shelf, the rum shelf, and the sundries shelf. There's a drink called, is it called mate? Is that what you're saying? I'm not familiar with that. I have a couple of South American spirits, cachaça from Brazil, and oh God, my brain just stopped. The Peruvian one. Wow. Okay, my brain literally just stopped. Oh, also, that's the spirits. I have as many bottles in there again that are liqueurs. I'm a bit obsessive. Pisco. Jesus Christ. I was trying to remember what the Peruvian drink's called. Pisco. Pisco is a grape brandy. Cachaça it's kind of like white rum, except rum tends to be made from a base of molasses, which is a byproduct of making sugar. And cachaça is made from sugarcane juice, so unprocessed sugarcane juice. So it tastes a bit different to most white rums. Those are the only two unique South American spirits I'm familiar with. Obviously, there's heaps more. The There's a lot of Central American ones that are getting popular too, like not just tequila, other agave drinks are getting really popular these days. Is this the Matilda's home colors? I don't even know. Strictly Sega, Mega CD add-on for Mega Drive, played Red Book CDs. Blue Book CDs had karaoke lyrics. And Yellow Book CDs. So, okay, Red Book had the definition of a music CD. Blue Book had the definition of how you got karaoke lyrics to go with it. And Yellow Book defined CD-ROMs. There you go. I'd definitely trust you to know about disc technology. Oh, VCD. Oh my God, I do remember VCD, actually. Good Lord. Yes. All right. So. Okay, finish the first one. No one threw in. Should I make next the sour apple cocktail that's based around Scotch, or the sour apple cocktail that's based around absinthe? I'm going to make them both. My plan is to make them both tonight. Ah, yes. Morning for you. Well, I hope you have a fantastic day, and thank you so much for dropping by to say hello. Do take care, my friend. We are bros now, and have yourself a mighty fine day, and maybe catch up another time. That would be weird. I see that you're saying that, Safa. A Nintendo 64 CD add-on would be weird because, of course, the games were cartridges. I certainly never heard of a CD add-on, but who knows? 64DD magnetic floppy drive peripheral for Nintendo 64. There were a few things for those early game systems that were only sold in Japan, actually, from memory. Oh, before I make another cocktail, I am going to have a little taste of this to see what it's like. Okay, ASMR time, because it's a new bottle. You get the crack. You get that once, and the glug glug glug. Seriously, how good is the glug 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 noise? I love the glug 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 noise. All right, Jamison's Orange. I've been wanting to try this for a while. And it was on special at the Woolies, I think. Well, it smells like orange. Like proper orange peel orange. Like I've just done a twist of orange peel over it. Well, that's promising. That's really promising because that's a really nice orange aroma. Doesn't taste like whiskey. Doesn't taste like alcohol. It's not burning oil. It's like 30%? Or is it 35%? 30% alcohol, and it doesn't taste like alcohol. It tastes like orange. Holy shit. Oh my God, that has a genuine sort of orange peel taste that's really quite pleasant. Jesus Christ, put this in a mixer. Dangerous. You get shit-faced without knowing it. Because it might be a bit less strong than standard whiskey, but 30% is still pretty strong. Whack that in mixer of your choice, really. God, I tell you what, I might try it with the spiced orange. Do I still have some spiced? I think I still have some spiced orange ginger ale. That with spiced orange ginger ale would kick ass. Remember burning a bunch of Blue Book CDs from Mega CD. Nice. Load like an old 33.6K modem. Nice. Icy Saracen. Flying economy, want in-flight entertainment. Get a retro handheld game console. Oh. That does actually sound like fun. Those various retro emulators, yes.
Oh yeah, no, there was a whole thing with who owned the technology. I don't know. I think there was some big agreement that I'll share. I don't know. But again, strictly Sega is your question, your man to ask questions about disk technology. I think. I'm just pulling my hair back a bit. All right, I'm going to make another cocktail. I'm going to make a smoky appletini with scotch. Okay, so I guess that means it's time for the chickens to come back and be in charge. While I go and set this up, and we talk about old technology. Okay, they're going to stay there? I think they're going to stay there. Put the banner up so anyone who comes in... Oh, come on. Sorry, I just saw them move. Yep, no, they're fucking moving. God damn it. Why is this proving so difficult? It just worked before. Okay, they're kind of staying in place now. Oh, that one moved. Yes, I did see that Michael Parkinson had died. Shuffled off this mortal coil. All right, I'm going to take my phone. I'm going to make the scotch one. All right. Just get this ready. Bring this over here. Okay. Chickens are looking like they're in a heavy metal band. Fuck's sake, what is the measurements for this? You know what? I fucking left my other jigger out there. And now there's something in my eye. I'm going to rub it, and my eye's going to go bloodshot. Anyway, chicken's in charge while I go and get the jigger I forgot. Okay. Got my jigger. Where jigger's at? Okay, gotta go and set this cheese up. Okay. Let's do this. And this. Okay. So what's in this one? Scotch, sour apple, and lemon syrup. Okay. Gonna stir this one. This one. This one make it different. Right. Now, okay. Twofold. You go back. I forgot to take a picture of the other one. That's okay. Scotchy, scotchy. Open another new bottle. I swear I had a bottle of this somewhere with a bit left. And I couldn't find it. So I'm going, okay, I don't. And then I'm going to bet I find it after I open another bottle, which will make me annoyed, quite honestly. All right, so we got scotch, scotch, and the syrup. Okay, well, let's friggin' do this. Pop. Pop. Okay. Another glug, 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 but you're probably not hearing it from over there. Okay. Have I got this line up properly? That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Great. Do that. Put some ice in. A bit more ice in. Okie dokie. And I'm going to put this in a teeny glass. That tastes weird. There's a teeny glass. Okay. Put that there. that there. We bounce that off the roof to give me some soft light. Switch the audio recorder on. Hey, Mega Leech. Did I say hello already? Alright. Record. Here's my second sour apple cocktail. A surprising twist on the appletini, a smoky appletini. Not the sort JD from Scrubs would drink, I don't think. Not enough teeny. Fucker. Here's my second sour apple. Oh, fuck. Here's my second sour apple cocktail. A twist on the appletini, a smoky appletini. Not the sort JD from Scrubs would drink. I think too much teeny for him in here. We'll see. I'll give it a taste. Not going to lie, that's a bit unusual. Smoke coming through with this. I think I like it, but I'm going to have to drink a bit more. But I'll show you how I made it. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is a twist on an appletini, a smoky appletini. Would you believe JD from Scrubs would drink this? I don't. Too much teeny for him. Let me show you how to make it. In a mixing glass, put 1 ounce of peated whiskey. Follow that with 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of an unpeated whiskey. And then we're doing 1 ounce or 30 mils of sour apple liqueur. And finally, 1/2 ounce or 15 mils of a sugar syrup. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then strain that into a chilled martini glass. Which gives us the smoky appletini. If you want something a bit different, you might be interested in trying this. Cheers. That's how we get our smoky appletini, and I think it's growing on me. This is really unusual. The Scotch has managed to really tame the sourness, but it's there and the sweetness is there. Now, the recipe I originally saw said to basically do 2.5 ounces of a peated whiskey, and I thought, that's a bit full on. But that might work, particularly if you like smoke. You could up the amount of peated whiskey, maybe do it all peated whiskey. I stand by my decision to have the smoke take a little bit of a backseat, but hell, it's an interesting drink. It is actually a genuinely interesting drink. Might grow on me as I drink it. All right, so switch that off. Switch this off. I had to do a Scrubs reference. A little bit more. Do that. And I forgot to take a picture of it again. But that's okay. I can just sit down now. That's like a bit up. All right, chickens go over there for now. Banana. Switch that off. They're fucking odd. Honestly, they are not my normal vibe, strictly Sega. First one, theoretically an old-fashioned variation. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling it. Yeah, no, and they taste the one with the whiskey, the kind of sort of old-fashioned, tasted like sour warheads. This one, I'm liking this one more, actually. This one, no, this one I think is genuinely good. It's really interesting. Hey, Mizm, how are you doing today? There you go. You always want to see me with a martini. You came in. I have a smoky sour apple martini. So there you go. I'm into this, actually. I am into this. It's weird. It is an unusual drink. It is an unusual drink. Not something I'm going to drink every day, but it's great. It is. It's growing on me with each sip, which is actually a good sign. When for me with a cocktail, when each sip is like, it's awakening something else. Oh, okay. Dry martinis are the serious. I'm a dry martini guy. So dry martini just means more gin and less vermouth. So a martini is just a mixture of gin and vermouth. Fuck anyone who says vodka. Sorry. That was a bit hostile. But I am not really here for vodka martinis. I'm here for gin martinis. So, oh yeah, no, martinis are fuck off strong drinks. The only thing stopping it from being a kick in the head is because you stir it on ice to get it really cold, and that dilutes it a bit because the ice melts. So, like about a quarter, a good martini, a quarter of the drink's going to be water. 20 to 25% is going to be water. That's not a bad thing. But yeah, martinis will get you fucked up. There's no two ways. A dry martini will get you fucked up. So, a common ratio of the amount of gin to vermouth is like 4-1. I tend to do mine about 5-1. I think Kirsten does hers about 8-1. So it's like nearly all gin and just a little bit of vermouth. Yes, if you have more vermouth, it's called a wet martini. The quality of a martini is so dependent on the quality of the components you put in it, which is kind of obvious, I guess. Suffer, there are no egg yolk. Well, okay. There was that whole thing, particularly in the 80s and 90s, where people slapped anything into a martini glass and called it a something martini. It's only a martini if it's gin and vermouth. Even though, I called this a, appletini. It's a classic example. You stick something in a martini glass, that doesn't make it a martini. Yeah, gin and vermouth is the go. Tricky saying, watching a movie last night, Race with the Devil, fucking awesome movie. They made martinis with vodka and the Smirnoff. Yeah, that's 3-liter bottle of Smirnoff. Also, Smirnoff is a shit vodka. There are better vodkas. Yeah. Oh, so you say that's interesting. The cocktail bar you went to, their ATM reader didn't work all the time because of how high up it was. I have not been to that cocktail bar. There are too many cocktail bars. Okay, I went to a new one this last week. That was pretty exciting. Not this week, the week before. That was pretty exciting. Going to a new place is always exciting, and it was pretty good. Yeah, prior to the 90s, Melbourne was dead. By 5:30, Melbourne was dead. Everyone who worked there went home. Nothing was open. It was dead. The only good thing Jeff Kennett did, liberalising the liquor laws, so small venues were viable. This is such an unlikely drink. And I actually genuinely fucking like it. My God. I might try it another time with more peat in it. Safa, I moved to Melbourne in early 98. It's always easy for me to remember because it was after Young Miss Angry was born. She was born in November 97, and her mum's family, who were all in Melbourne, wanted us to move to Melbourne because it was the first grandchild for that side of the family. It was literally the 20th grandchild for my side of the family. No novelty at all. So it's basically all the babysitters were here in Melbourne. So moved in January or February 98. Honestly, I don't remember. Joan Kerner seemed like a good person. She probably did something good. I was not that much of a go-out person when I arrived in Melbourne. I was actually not drinking alcohol at all when I moved to Melbourne. YouTube led me astray. I'm not even joking. It was going to YouTube events that got me to drink alcohol. So YouTube is responsible for my moral collapse, basically. Imagine if I moved in. Look, if my mate Crowe, who was dropped in to say hello earlier, I actually need to ask him, what's the happening place in Dubbo these days? They want me to go back for 40th high school anniversary, which I don't know that I want to do. It's just the travel is such a fucking pain in the ass. Oh, strictly say, yeah, good combo. Working Rod Laver, friend was a DJ, good times. Man, that's like an 8. Seriously, the first one was, it's not awful. It was like 6 or 7, maybe a 7 because it wasn't awful. But this is an 8. I would actually consider making this one again with more peated whiskey in it. Man, there's almost no sour in this. It's just a fruitiness. It's surprisingly good. I might make that again one time. Mental note, smoky appletini is not a bad drink. Very light rain, Safa. I thought there would be more because when looked at the rain radar on the bomb site, there were fucking bomb site. That sounds good. And they hate being called bomb as well, Bureau of Meteorology. Huge amounts of rain all across South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales, up to Brisbane and Tasmania. And I feel like we only got a sprinkle of rain here so far. Oh, well, see, it's strictly Sega. There's one little bit just not far from Fed Square. God, I always get confused. Is it Flinders Lane or Little Collins Street? Little Collins. Okay. So it's not Flinders Lane, it's Little Collins. There's a stretch in Little Collins where there's a shit ton of good cocktail bars and restaurants that are only like a block or two away from each other. and yeah, but it's like there's like a one block thing. You get the Luau, which is a tiki bar, the Gin Palace, the Bar Empire, and there's a new one, the name of which keeps escaping me. And they're like literally within a block, four really good cocktail bars within a block of each other. I don't think my offspring are into sport at all. I don't know. Would I work for ASIO? I don't know who. OASD? I don't know what that is. There's no way I'd pass a security check. I had to do a base level security check, I don't know, 10 years ago to work for defense as a contractor. There's no way I'd pass an ASIO background check. I wouldn't even try. Because again, yeah, you know, if I was, Signals Directorate. Yeah, actually, Signals Directorate, definitely. But I would not pass either of their security checks. And also, if I just answer their questions honestly, it's like, what do you think of what we do? And I went, you are tools of fascism and colonialism. You are enemies of the people. So I would not even attempt to work for either of them on ideological grounds, and also because I wouldn't pass their security check. But it's interesting. I can actually answer that really confidently. Signals Directorate is who I'd choose. Oh man, it's quite trippy how I was enjoying that drink more every sip. Labour Party conference in Brisbane. Just because it's boring is why I haven't mentioned it. Because the Labour Party conference has no influence on what the federal party does. They've already decided what they're doing. The conference is just in their constitution that they have to do it. I don't know. I'll wait and see. I mean, you know, I live in hope that the Labour Party will sometimes realise they can stop being so fucking scared, and they should actually do proper left-wing government, because it's what a significant majority of the country want. I have not been paying attention to the Defence Minister, but anyone, and there are a lot of people saying this, anyone who starts talking about, oh, we have to be ready for conflict with China, I just want to fucking stab them in the eye and just say, no, what we have to do is focus all our effort on avoiding conflict with China, because any actual war with them would cost minimum millions of lives, if not tens of millions of lives. So any rational human person would be expending all their energy in averting conflict. They did talk up a little bit more about the housing thing, but I'll be honest, I have no idea. Well, actually, I have one really big idea about housing, is that nobody should get a tax break for having more than one property. It's that simple. Like every now and then I read these things in the, I swear to God, fucking economics is such bullshit. And this idea that housing prices going down is bad is ridiculous. And we keep seeing talking heads in the media and the government talking about, oh, things going down, that's bad. It does my head in when you get people talking about the price of housing going down being a bad thing. And it's only because like all these people are over leveraged trying to make money off the housing market. Well, fuck them. Safar, do I think Putin wants to invade Germany? No, I think Putin just desperately wants to hold on to what power he has, and I think the odds are against him. But anyway. Hey, Justin, how you doing, by the way? You know what? You know what I might do? Oh, God, it's 9 o'clock already. I do have to work to it. Okay, I'm going to make my third cocktail video. My third sour apple video. This one has absinthe. Yes. No, exactly. Strictly speaking, the idea of people getting tax breaks on huge amounts of properties is absolutely fucking ridiculous. That's the number one thing they should do. Get rid of tax breaks for investing in multiple properties. You know what capitalism is? If you can make money off an investment, do it. The idea of giving people tax breaks for owning properties as destroyed housing in Australia. There's some new projects. I just continue to make videos. So, speaking of which, I am now going to make another cocktail. Sorry, just before I go, that's really interesting, Justin. You talked to a psych, and they said your school reports show no sign of ADHD. It's being diagnosed. I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. All right. Oof. Okay, I am slightly feeling it. So when I make this third one, which has absinthe in it, I'm probably really going to feel that. So I'm putting it in a martini glass again. All righty. Bring the light over here. I gotta make the drink before I talk about it. Ooh. Oh, shit. There we go. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. Putting the whiskeys away. Because I've actually run out of space on the rack. So the whiskeys just go in here. Where I know where they are. So many whiskeys and gins. Okay, what's in this last one? Absinthe, sour apple, orange bitters, and soda water. Okay, absinthe. Absinthe makes the... This is going to be an interesting color. Green sour apple and blue absinthe is going to make an interesting colored cocktail. We shall see what it looks like. And I'm going to top with soda water, because that's how I roll. Okay. That's the way, I like it. Okay. Oh, fucking hell. 3/4 of an ounce of absinthe. This is my 80% absinthe. Damn, you dude's going to be rolling home. And 1.5 ounces of sour apple. That's the way, And where's my orange bitters? Okay. Then we're going to top that sucker with soda. Okay. Where are we? All right. Do that a bit. Okay.
It's very green. All right, that's actually done. All right. Also, this is called Viagra Falls. Hilarious name for a drink. Oh, and it's looshing because of the absinthe, of course. Okay, that initial taste is pretty good. How's that? Just about I got you out, how's that? And let's top it with soda water. All right. That is a neat color. Milky green. Hello, Kirsten. Hello. There are a lot of chickens in charge tonight. I will be relieving them of their charge, I don't know, in the next 5 minutes. I just got to do a talky bit for this video now. What is that? Some weird floaty on my drink. Oh, I probably want a video camera if I'm going to talk. Let me quickly do that. How's that? All right. We're good. Here's my third sour apple cocktail. This one has absinthe. The milky color here is from the looshing from the absinthe when things are added to it. If you're not familiar with absinthe, it actually has a lot of oils in it. And when you add anything from water to any other elements that are liquid, it'll go milky. You can see my absinthe, it's very clear, not milky. But as soon as you add stuff to it, it goes milky. Makes for a very interesting looking drink. Now this cocktail is called Viagra Falls. And yes, I'm making it just because of that name. But I am free-forming a little. The one thing, the recipe I found said to shake it with additional water, probably to dilute the strength of the absinthe. Good move on my part. But I thought for a bit of variety, I was actually going to just stir it on ice and no extra water, but then I was going to top it with soda water. And you might like to shake it with the ice and extra water. You might like to use still water. Hey, you want to use Prosecco, champagne, hell, Sprite for that matter. Go for it. I'm very intrigued how this is going to taste. Honestly, that's working kind of well. The licorice elements of the absinthe are definitely in there. It's not too sour from the sour apple. It's not too strong from the absinthe. I think this might be a bit of a winner. Here's how I made it. G'day cocktail lovers. This is a sour apple and absinthe based cocktail called Viagra Falls. And yes, I chose to make it solely because of that name. Here's how you make it. Oh no, I want to do the thing. G'day cocktail lovers. This is a sour apple and absinthe based cocktail called Viagra Falls. And yes, I decided to make it based solely on that name, but was it worth making? Let me taste it. It's the elements are actually working really well together. None of them are dominating, and they seem to be balancing quite well. Here's how I made it. In our glass, how much do we put? In our glass, we put 3/4 of an ounce, or about 22.5 mils of absinthe. And then we add one. Did I really do 1.5? Oh, shit. Then we add 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of sour apple liqueur. And then we do 2 ashes. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. How hammered am I at? Then we do 2 dashes of orange bitters. Add ice to the glass and stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. Then strain that into a chilled martini glass, and I topped it with soda water. Which gives us a really interesting looking drink and an interesting tasting drink. Viagra Falls. Maybe it's for you. Give it a go. Cheers. And that's how we come up with Viagra Falls. Honestly, I don't quite understand the name, because with the strength of absinthe in here, I think this is likely to have the opposite effect to Viagra. But it doesn't taste bad. You know, it's very interesting. I'm quite surprised how well the sour apple and the absinthe go together. Neither of them gets to dominate. Definitely you do want a bit of additional dilution though, I think. So whether that's shaking with water, topping with soda water like I did, or topping with some other bubbly thing of your preference, I think that's a good idea. You know, I'm not regretting getting this. It turns out it goes with a lot of things. Of the three, I honestly, the one with the scotch is the one that I'm going to go back to, I think. The smoky appletini has a lot of scope. In fact, I think if I make it again, I might make it with more peated whiskey or smoked whiskey, possibly all smoked whiskey, because it just worked really well. I was worried the smoke would be too much, but it actually went really well with the sour apple. So I might do that in the future. If any of these three appeal to you, I suggest just get out there, make it, experiment. And I'd love to hear if you actually have a tip, because I've got a whole bottle of this sour apple now. If you have a tip for the best way to use it in the comments, I'd love to hear about it. And failing that, I just hope to see you again sometime soon. I'll sit down. Wow, I've had 3 reasonably strong drinks in one night. Well, I'm working on the third. This one's got 80% alcohol, absinthe in it. So I think it's time for me to sit down, and I'll say bye for now, and I hope to see you again sometime soon. Cheers. Genuinely, I think I better sit down. All right. Hootenanny. Okay. Let me switch a couple of things off. Switch the camera off. Switch the audio recorder off. Get some things out of the way. Put this over here. Turn the ring light on.
Bring my chair. Oh man, I really need to sit down. God damn. Okie dokie. Oofed. Oh, Kirsten, did you miss the legend of the chickens, by the way? That was a lockdown purchase. So about 2 years ago, because if you have a lot of those chickens, instead of sounding like the individual chicken noise, they sound like some unearthly scream of monsters. Turns out I don't really have enough to do that, but because they still just sound like chickens. There are another 3 or 4 somewhere in the house. So, you know what? I do love the color this went. More sort of milky. I'm going to put it in here to flavor the peel and the cherries. Hot damn. All right, so yes, so the sour apple impulse buy, not terrible, and I might experiment with some more things. They do, the mouth on the chickens does kind of look like those really trashy blow-up sex dolls, I will admit. Cheers, y'all. It's not bad. Viagra Falls. Honestly, you've just got to give me a drink with a silly name, and I'm going to want to try it just because of the silly name. Wordplay. I love wordplay. Ugh. Oof. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to... no, honestly sounds like I'm doing a bar humbug, and I kind of am. But I am looking forward to people calming the fuck down now that Matildas are out of the World Cup. I mean, yeah, they did really well. I'm not going to begrudge anyone their enjoyment of it. But if I were to be asked, and if I were to be honest in response to being asked, I would say I actually don't really fucking care. But I don't care about anything. Yeah, I do not have any meetings tomorrow, Safa, which is a huge fucking positive. Although I am probably having a catch-up chat with someone in my team because we're working on it tomorrow. But I don't have any official, boring, or stressful meetings tomorrow. So I am doing a bunch of planning of shit I have to do in the next, year, honestly. But I'm also trying to impress my new boss's boss and being proactive and saying, hey, I got a fucking plan. Oh no, Kirsten, Friday's the worst? Well, that sucks. Raise, what's up? Yeah, my Friday is very quiet. Also, Kirsten, I was messaging Kirsten on Discord earlier asking about various whiskies. It's like, oh, look, I actually got in on the ballot for this new Starwood, and I'm not sure if I get it. I was hoping Kirsten would lead me astray and say, definitely get it. But Kirsten was being responsible. I didn't do that. So I got it anyway. So holy shit, I have been buying too many bottles of booze in the last 2 weeks because all the various outlets had specials and I fucking bought a ton. And I need to stop. Stitch and Bitch meetup. That sounds like fun. No, Safa. I do not like salt. I've never had it. but I don't like cucumber. I don't like the sound of salted cucumber. Oh no, Ray's lung infection. Oh Jesus, pneumonia. Holy shit, dude. That sucks. The proverbial pneumonia with complicating infections and a temp. Holy shit. I haven't had that for. I don't think I've ever actually had pneumonia, but I have had proper fucking flu. Well, I had COVID, although it was very mild. I picked up a fucking stomach flu once, which sucked. Can't lead yourself astray. Well, see, you know what, Kirsten? I've been buying a bunch of shit. If you ever get to Melbourne, you don't even have to go out to bars to be led astray. You can just come and hang here. Although possibly before the end of the year, Mrs. Angry and I will be having a holiday in South Australia. Obviously want to catch up with you if you do that. Nothing's carved in stone yet, but we talked about it and said, yeah, sounds like a good idea. Und so. I will be broke if I don't stop spending fucking money. Seriously. I just convinced. Most of it was a whole bunch of stuff like 30% or more off. That's the reason I got this Jamison's orange. It's the reason I got that sour apple. I never would buy those normally, but I saw them really marked down, and a whole bunch of shit marked down. And this is like Dan's, BWS, Liquorland, different things marked down like 30% was the average, honestly, like a third off. I know 30% is not a third. But 25, a quarter to a third off for a whole bunch of shit. And I just couldn't resist. It was like, oh, and it's hilarious. Like I got another bottle of the Watkins whiskey, which I really like, which normally goes for $150. And it's weird. I go into one Dan's and they're clearing it and it's $100. And I go into another Dan's, they're not clearing it. It's $150. And I even, I just got even in the cupboard, there's a spare bottle of Nova because it was $20 off. And I was going like, well, Nova's like one of my go-tos. And I've still got a fair bit in an open bottle there, but I thought, $20 off. It's only going to go up. So fuck it, I'll get it. So far it makes sense if Dan's were franchises, but I honestly don't know. So what have I still got? I'll show everyone. Queen Kirsten might know this there. I got Mrs. Angry signed me up. She paid for it. It was a Christmas birthday from a while back. Oh shit, the soda water. I want that. So these people curate a mystery bottle. Every 3 months I get a mystery bottle. And I just got my newest one, and it's really good. So this was a complete surprise to me. From Bass and Flinders Distillery, which is out on the Mornington Peninsula, which is around the other side of the bay. Madame Marmalade, their orange liqueur. It's really fucking good. And I actually needed an orange liqueur. I'd drunk the last of my orange liqueur, and I kept thinking I need to buy another orange liqueur. And that arrived in the mail. It was fate. And that's a brandy-based orange liqueur, so it's really flavoursome. It's fucking yummy. Justin, 2 flights to Melbourne on Jetstar in September. Is that for an event? And again, 2. That sounds sexy. Is that for a dirty weekend with someone? Mrs. Angry and I are always talking about Let's like do a weekend away somewhere with the distillery. We're thinking soon going back to the Four Pillars one in Healesville, because there's a couple other places in the general area we can go to as well. So, but we wanted to have an at least slightly extended holiday. And we're saying Adelaide, Western Australia? I don't know. So I don't actually know anyone in Western Australia, and I've actually got a few friends in and around Adelaide. So we might be doing that before the end of the year. Oh, okay. Sorry, I think I misunderstood what you were saying, Justin. It's 2 different trips to Melbourne, not trips for 2. Okay. So what's that? Is that a work dealio? Oh, also a fun thing. Okay, I'm going to tease this because literally just before COVID, I was starting to make some videos of people I knew through YouTube to come over and do cocktail shit, and then we just had so many lockdowns, I put it off. And so a couple of YouTube friends who have been on video on the Angry Aussie channel, like, I don't know, 4 years ago, I just messaged them on Facebook and said, do you remember I said you should come over and we'll do shit? We should do it. So they are probably coming over for a party night stream, not tomorrow, but next Friday. So I guess it's not definite, but we all kind of agreed on it. So Friday night, a week from tomorrow, party night, be a couple of special guests, and I'm going to make them drinks, and we're going to treat this like it's an actual bar and hang out. So off the hook, yo. And also said to them both, yeah, like, come over, we'll do some stuff. I want to shoot some video, do stuff for YouTube and whatnot, but also just hang over and make drinks. And man, if you get fucking drunk, my offspring moved out. There are actually 2 bedrooms, so they can stay here and sleep the night if they want to. So that's a lad and a lass, Alex and Amaris, probably going to be here for party night a week from tomorrow. So I think that will actually be a super fun night. I already have some ideas of what to do video-wise, but also just think it'll be fun. I'm just going to play bartender and make drinks. So Justin, you're doing trips to Melbourne, a friend's birthday, and a university reunion. Nice. Socializing. That sounds nice. Talk tunes. I do still have to do that at one stage, Strictly Sega, booze and tunes, because it is an excellent idea for a video series. Just get some of my vinyl out and go, okay, this is an album from such and such. This is what this album meant to me. Da, da, da. When I look at the tracks and the history of this artist, here's the drink that comes to mind. And I just say, you know what? Find whatever your music thing is, Spotify or whatever. Find this artist, listen to this track, make yourself this drink, and drink it while listening. I definitely need to do it. I do it. I have very Gen X taste in music, but like particularly if we were sticking to my vinyl, it's 80s, early 90s vinyl. And I'm not like heaps to getting re-releases. It was just literally the only music I could get at the time. Oh yeah, music night, a ton of music. Okay. Well, even on a stream one time, I should just bring, I think I've done this before, bring a crate of vinyl in and just pull things out and go, okay, this is such and such. Here's how I rate them. Here's the best track of theirs to listen to. So for vinyls, well, there are different forms of vinyl. The earliest forms of pressed records, which weren't actually vinyl, they were very hard acetate, early 20th century. Let's do a search on it. When was the LP record invented? 1948, Columbia Records introduced a long playing record rotated at 33 1/3, up to 30 minutes of playing time per side. So the LP originated in 1948, pre-rock and roll. The LP was pre-rock and roll. But it became the defining way to release music, rock and roll and post rock and roll. So Zafa, I have no idea what you mean by arrived. Well, I'll search that as well. When were vinyl albums available? I'm doing this one-handed. In Australia. '60s by the sounds of it. It sounds like vinyl records were widely available in Australia in '60s. Yeah, I was very young in 1948, strictly say. I was just in high school. Yeah. Yeah, and that is true. Color TV. Oh, it was more than 10 years. I think it was close. I think America had color TV close to 20 years before Australia. It was definitely more than 10. Because it was like 76, somewhere between 74 and 76 in Australia. And I think Americans had color TV in the fucking 50s. But yes, okay. Fair call, Safa. I think based on what I just saw on my search, vinyl albums were widely available in Australia in the 60s. The technology was created in 1948. I think they were widely available in Australia in the 60s. Yeah, Safa, there's also a difference between color TV as a technology existing and broadcast color TV being out. I'm not sure. Oh, Safa, the whole thing is we're so far away from the rest of the world, and we didn't have the manufacturing base here, and so stuff had to come in on boat, and that was expensive and took a long fucking time. We're just so far away from Europe and North America. It was a combination of it took a long fucking time to ship something here, and it was also expensive. There were a couple of very good decisions that were made, government legislation about technology in Australia, because it's like looking at the rest of the world. Yes, our PAL TV, broadcast TV, was definitely better than NTSC. So that's definitely a thing. Oh, gosh darn it. Wait, what did I do with soda water? There it is. Dang, bro. Yes, it's basically stuff that's economical in North America and Europe is not as economical here, both because of the distance and the comparatively small population. I mean, there are fucking cities in Europe and North America that have the population of all of Australia. So, and Asia for that matter. What am I talking about? Drinking a bit of soda water. So, yeah, it is kind of weird. Where again, there was a thing people talked about in this, particularly in the 60s and the 70s, the cultural cringe. Australia was so isolated from the artistic and creative centers of Europe and North America that there was like a self-loathing almost in Australia of we're not up to England, Europe, the United States. Well, and that's the whole thing, Justin. Darwin's closer to Asia than any of the other major cities in Australia. Whereas, like Melbourne is obviously a long way away because we're a big fucking country. Saying we are close to Asia is like saying San Diego is close to Ontario. And I said, well, yeah, depending what you're comparing it to, really. But yeah. I believe, strictly Sega, Perth is the most isolated capital city in the world. It's the furthest away from anything else. Yeah, we're just, to most people in the rest of the world, Asia, North and South America, Europe, the distances between places in Australia are unfathomably huge. It's like it's quite difficult for a lot of people to wrap their head around the distances in Australia. Driving Sydney to Melbourne, just going between two state capitals, that same distance in Europe, you've crossed 6 countries. Yeah, China to Australia, 10-hour flight. But again, from the north of Australia to Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia, places like that, that's a short flight. Long way from China, definitely. Long way from Japan, too. But Southeast Asia, we're quite close to. Our northern part is. Sorry, I'm scratching. My legs itchy, and it's like, it just feels so good when I scratch, but I know I'm going to break the skin and it will fucking hurt tomorrow. And I shouldn't do it. But I'm at the mercy of the microbes who are telling me, yeah, no, scratch that bit. It'll feel good. Sometimes it's like all humans are a fucking transport system for microbes. We think like, yes, we're the pinnacle, we're the top. It's like, no, there are these microorganisms that control our behavior and they're just using us to propagate. I'm going to start my new religion. God is a microbe. As the what would that church be called? Church of the Holy Microbe? Maybe. Justin, you're saying Honolulu is the most isolated. Well, I mean, I don't want to suggest the internet is perfect. What is the most isolated city in the world? Okay, they're tiny. Let's say capital city. Capital. What's the most isolated capital city? Perth. Wow, it's 2 million people in Perth. World's most isolated capital city. That's what the internet says. So there are lots of small isolated communities that are more isolated than Perth. But in terms of large cities, a state or federal capital, Perth is the most isolated capital city in the world. According to the internet, which never makes mistakes. So I should save burps like that for like an ASMR channel. I feel like there are some weirdos out there who would pay money, absolutely pay money to get burps that fruity. So, God, I've got 3 clarified cocktails there, and I just made a new one today, which I have not had a proper taste of. Which I think I should. Also, I have some water here. And yes, Justin, Honolulu is a capital city, and the internet. Well, see, Honolulu is in Hawaii, and there's lots of other cities. There's fucking nothing near Perth. So I think possibly in your head you were saying what capital city is furthest away from other capital cities. But that's not the question we're saying. We're saying which is the most isolated city. So it's like which capital city is most in the middle of fucking nowhere, and it's Perth. It's which capital city is the furthest away from other major centers of population, and it's Perth. According to the internet, which as we know is never wrong. So literally anything you see on the internet, believe it, because it's irrefutable fact. Drinking some water. It's very bracing, melted ice. I was going to pour the soda water into this, and I never got around to it. So the ice has just been melting. So I've got some very bracingly cold water. I made some more of my sexy clear ice tonight. All I did was stick into a search engine, most isolated capital city in the world, and Perth came out. I think the answer is extremely subjected. Population of Hawaiian cities. I'm now just looking up population of Hawaiian cities. 10 largest cities in Hawaii. Honolulu's only 353,000. East Honolulu, 51,000. Here's the thing, that question of what is the most isolated city is absolutely subjective. It's what you mean by isolated. And yeah, no, you're saying like Honolulu's furthest away from the closest big city, but there is fuck nothing around Perth. Honolulu is in Hawaii, and there are a bunch of cities. They're not huge cities. They're honestly just the size of large country towns, but Perth doesn't even have that. So here's the thing. There is no objective measurement for most isolated. You can define it a couple of different ways and get a couple of different answers. So my advice is don't get hung up on it because, that's just emotional and psychological pain. I'm just going to... This might be too complicated a question. Closest city to Perth with population of more than 40,000. Closest city to Perth with a population of more than 40,000 is Bunbury, which is 175 kilometers south of Perth, whereas Honolulu is surrounded by cities of more than 40,000 with populations higher than Bunbury's. So this is what I mean, because that question is just incredibly subjective. The reason people say Perth is the most isolated city is because there's fuck all within 160 kilometers of it. Honolulu has multiple centers of population within 160 kilometers of it. Yeah, musically, that's a big question. Is Bunbury a city, a town? Oh, it's not. It's not more Perth because it's 175 kilometers away from. Yeah, hey, official Justin, you've missed. The chickens have been here multiple times this evening. Yes, strictly Sega, Bunbury is your Ballarat or Sydney's Dubbo. Yep, that's fair. So, yeah, whenever. Language is very imprecise, and the same sentence can mean different things to different people or different things to the same people in different contexts. So, yeah, the whole thing about what's the most isolated city is subjective. And people say Perth is the most isolated because there is fuck all around Perth. Honolulu might be further away from the next city, like capital city of hundreds of thousands of people. But yeah, it's all subjective. Oh, there you go, Kirsten. Husband's from Bunbury. You're from Mandurah. Oh, God. I have no fucking idea because strictly Sega, I probably have not bought a CD in 10 years. At a guess, the last CD I bought probably would have been a compilation because I love compilations. Failing that, I'm really stretching my mind. CDs I bought. be a fair chance it was the Hilltop Hoods. Possibly Brendan McLean, actually. I bought his CD, Funbane 1. But my bet would be the last CD I bought was either a compilation or a Hilltop Hoods album or Brendan McLean. Official Justin, don't sigh too loud. Peanut butter whiskey. Oh my God, which was the one you got? Because I swear to God, the sheepdog just tastes like sugar or peanut brittle. Doesn't taste like whiskey. I've heard there are better ones, but the sheepdog, oof. Man, I'm only going to use it as like a syrup or friggin' liqueur. Certainly not as whiskey. Oh yeah, official Justin, you missed. We were talking about the most isolated capital city, and depends how you define the term isolated. It's either Perth or Honolulu. So yeah. Oh yeah, those ones they used to advertise on TV were wild. Oh no, but Ballarat's pretty good for a country town, honestly. You know what? Against my better judgment, because it's almost 10 o'clock, but I have to have a proper taste of this. I just made this clarified cocktail today. I just filtered it today. And it's got, what has it got in it? Orange juice, overproof whiskey, overproof rum. Kind of forget what else I put in it, actually. Official Justin, Perth is more remote than Darwin. So yes, as we were having a whole discussion, depending how you define isolated, depends what you mean isolated from. The most isolated capital city in the world is either Honolulu or Perth. My definition, just being like isolated from fucking anything, is Perth. If you go with isolated from next really big city, that's Honolulu. Oh God, you got sheepdog. Oh my God. Well, it was on special when I got it. Honestly, Drambuie is pretty good. I've got a few different whiskey liqueurs. I've got a couple of Australian versions of Drambuie. It's like a herbal whiskey liqueur. Now, official Justin, I looked it up. I basically searched what's the closest town to Perth, with a population of more than 30,000. It was Bunbury, which is 175 kilometers away. Although, okay, I could do the same search. Closest city to Darwin, with a population of more than 40,000. See, Darwin ends up being close to Malaysian cities. See, the closest city to Darwin with a population of 40,000 is Palmerston, which is only 20 kilometers away. Where is Makassar? Closest and further cities from Darwin. Yeah, see. No, wait, that's much further. I don't know. The internet's being unreliable. Mandurah's closer. They have 100,000 people. Okay. Oh my God, yes, West Dubbo. West Dubbo is remote, both physically and metaphysically. Anyway, that was just what the internet said. Who the fuck knows, honestly? Darwin's so close to Indonesia, domestic airlines from Indonesia fly into Darwin. Anyway, a little taste of this. Oh man, that's fucking yummy. Oh man, clarified cocktails fucking rock. My God, that's got some great flavors. That's fucking awesome. And yes, official Justin, I agree. Palmerston is pretty much Darwin, kind of like Parramatta to Sydney. Yeah, no, Palmerston's only 20 kilometers away from Darwin. Yeah. Again, but that's what we come back to. The answer to that question of what's the most isolated capital city is incredibly subjective. It depends what you mean by isolated. Isolated from what? But if you just do a Google search, what's the most isolated capital city? It says Perth, but if you refine it a bit and say isolated from other capital cities, it'll say Honolulu. But Honolulu is surrounded by population centers that are much closer than what surrounds Perth. Well, Alice Springs is not a capital city. Certainly in the middle of fucking nowhere. Well, that's a fun one. Flying a single prop plane from Darwin to East Timor in under 4 hours. That sounds somewhat dangerous because that's open ocean. God damn. So now I've got 3 different fucking milk clarified cocktails there. Swear to God, I had others. I took them over to the Offspring's place a couple of weeks ago. 3 weeks ago? Yeah, like 3 weeks ago. Because it's like, hey, you know what? You might like these, and I've got too many. I need to find out if they drank them and if they like them. Because the way this is going, I might take some more over to their place next week. So like, oh, do this. You're young. Drink this. I've got too much at my place. Oofed. Okay, so I feel like I've kind of made it through tonight relatively well. Made 3 sour apple cocktails. I'll probably edit that video tomorrow. And I'll plan which videos I record in party night stream. Do at least 2 short ones. But also, keen-eyed people might have noted I tried to record stuff so I could do 1 long video with 3 cocktails in it and then 3 short ones as well. Official Justin. Okay. A recommendation for a whiskey liqueur. Okay, well, you've got Drambuie is pretty good. Okay, I'll get one. This one's at Dan's. And it's fucking good. Where is it? There, I'm going to put it in here. It's basically one that the Lark Distillery make. And I'm trying to remember where I put it. Now, here it is. Okay. This one. You can get this one at Dan's. A whiskey liqueur. This is the Lark Distillery, Tasmanian Distillery's version of Drambuie, basically. Call it Slanche. It is better. This is really fucking good. Cute bottle too, isn't it? That is a cute bottle. It's not too expensive. Oh, Yes. Oh, yes, Kirsten. It depends. Do you want a cream liqueur? Because Helia's Road, which is another Tasmanian distillery, make a cream liqueur that like shits all over Bailey's. Like it's more expensive. Like it's, I don't know, twice as expensive as Bailey's, and it's like 10 times better. Like it's fucking phenomenal. I just ordered some refills this week actually that should arrive sometime soon. They're salted caramel and basically their Nutella one, the hazelnut one. I swear to God, like I said, even though it's literally twice as much as Bailey's, but it's 10 times better. So yeah, Lark's Slanche is better than Drambuie. Not shitting on Drambuie. Drambuie is fine. Drambuie is actually quite nice. I also have, what's the other Tasmanian one I have? No, it's Western Australian. I have Lime Burners whiskey liqueur, which is quite nice. Probably not as good as Lark's Slanche. So that would be my vote for whiskey liqueur, Lark's, cream liqueur, Helia's Road, Bailey's versus O'Reilly's. You know, it's like, ugh. I don't have a very strong opinion in that. But if you want to spend about $40 on a whiskey cream liqueur, fucking Helia's Road. I swear to God, it is so good. So this is a non-cream liqueur, Slanche. It's very good. And I haven't had any for a little while, so I'm going to have a splash of it. Just a splash. And I'll read the description. So, Slanche. Named for the Gaelic toast to good health, Slanche marries our finest single malt whiskey with a closely guarded selection of botanicals to produce a delightfully complex and velvety liqueur. 32.9% ABV. So the toast is Slainte, and that's Gaelic. It's pronounced Slanche. I swear to fucking good. Helia's Road. Yes, sorry. Helia's Road. Also, their single malt whiskey. They've changed their bottles. I'll just show you this for fun. Last time I ordered the cream liqueur, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to get one of your whiskeys too. So I get free postage. This is the bottle they used to do their whiskies in, which is an unusual bottle. Most whiskey bottles are like shorter and fatter than this, and Helia's Road did actually change their bottling now, and so they have these shorter, fatter bottles now. So this is one of the last ones, a Pinot Noir finish. This is really good as well. Oh, Justin. Yeah, dude. Honestly, where I think Sheepdog would work, Sheepdog should be a mixer. Like, I swear to God, it didn't taste like whiskey to me. It tastes like peanut brittle to me. I would think have it with a mixer, even like cola, ginger ales. I don't know. I might experiment with it. Having tasted Sheepdog, I now intend to treat it like it's a friggin' syrup or liqueur. Certainly not a whiskey. Anyway, let's go and taste this little bit of Slanche. My word, that's good. I feel like you can see it's almost gone. Oh man, it's like that's whiskey and honey. It's really nice. It's very nice. Yeah, so you're tasting. It's like butterscotch. Yeah, no, it is. The peanut really carries through, I find. I think it might be worth just using it with a mixer because it's so fucking sweet. Like whether you have it with cola or ginger ale or something, it's not a fucking whiskey, but it's so sweet. It's freaky. So yeah, I intend to just treat it like it's a syrup or a liqueur, basically. Yeah, no, that's the yum face. But also, Helios Road single malt, 46.2%. This was their cheapest one. It's really good. I swear to God, just the aroma on that. It's this really, it's like honey and herbs. It's like so fucking pleasant. You know, like again, a lot of whiskeys, like even whiskeys I like, if you take a really big inhale, it fucking burns your nostril hairs off. This doesn't. It's, oh my God, it is so fucking nice. It's like honey and flowers. And I'm just going to have a little splash of it. And yes, Justin, if you like tonic, actually, the bitterness of tonic might tame down the fucking sweetness of sheepdog. But yeah, I think sheepdog can do with being diluted. Soda or tonic. If you like tonic, I think that might work. Just soda, like, yeah, because whiskey soda is traditional. But yeah, Jesus Christ, sheepdog can do with being diluted. I mean, that is really nice. It's really sweet. You can tell it was like finished in wine barrels. Oh, actually, that could kick ass. That could fucking kick ass, Justin. Lemon juice to cut the sweetness and soda to lengthen it. That could, as a highball, sheepdog, lemon, and soda, that could kick ass, quite honestly. I think that's some good thinking on your part right there. Okay, I swear to God, not necessarily tonight, but another night. Like, okay, no, next week. It didn't arrive. It might arrive tomorrow. You know what? I could possibly. What fucking Gmail account am I logged into here? Which one is that? No, that's my YouTube one. I think. Is okay, wait, email on here. Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to work out on this laptop. Oh, why don't I just go mail? Mail. Go the mail app. I think that's the right one. I'm literally in 2024. Outlook's replacing Windows Mail. Cool. Elliot Road. Where's my order? I'm going to try and track my order. There we go. Parcel delivery update. It's on its way. The question is it going to arrive tomorrow or next week? Or maybe on the weekend? I fucking don't think it's left Tasmania yet. Okay. So, okay, I don't think I'm getting my new Helios Road till next week. But look, seriously, having talked it up so much tonight, if I get these 2 new bottles of Helios Road cream liqueur next week. Oh, yeah, Justin, fuck yeah. What city, official Justin, are you in Sydney? I don't go there very often, but I might go there for something. I freaking love experimenting with cocktails. And in fact, tonight, the 3 I made, which were all about the fact I got this sour apple liqueur, which is a thing I never get. And they were so different. But it was really quite interesting to explore different things. So, and I was very surprised how well the one with peated scotch worked. And I maybe need to revisit that another time. Oh, you're in Lake Macquarie. Yeah. No. Honestly, that's a much better place to live than Sydney. Yeah, well, I have no idea, but I swear to God, if the world ever brings me to Lake Macquarie, I will let you know, because that sounds like fun. And like I said, I'm planning on a fun night next Friday next week. A couple of special guests in, and yeah, oof, coffee cocktail of some type. Honestly, sheepdog works as a fucking sweetener. Honestly, it is freaky how it's freaky how sweet that is. I have what's the coffee thing I have from Archie Rose? Their blasphemy whiskey coffee thingy, which again brings to mind I had talked about doing that an AIDSy memorial drink, the AIDSy version of an espresso martini based on how he liked his coffee, which was creamy and sweet. So I'm thinking of the blasphemy coffee whiskey drink and cream, probably some chocolate liqueur, and maybe even some sugar syrup to replicate how fucking sweet AZ liked his coffee. But it was obviously going to be called a Code Grey because it's going to be a creamy variation on an espresso martini. And Safa in with the innuendo. Not the only thing that AZ like creamy. Yes. So you're noticing half a glass of sheepdog on the rocks. Oh my God! It's again. Yes, it is. It's like a teen, early 20s drink sheepdog. It's so fucking sweet. But I genuinely think you might have hit the nail on the head. A highball with sheepdog, lemon juice, and soda could work. Oh God, no. Yeah, official Justin, AIDSy's coffee was just absurd amounts of sugar and milk or cream. So an AIDSy Code Grey espresso martini would be a coffee element, a cream element, and very sweet. So I'm kind of thinking the blasphemy whiskey coffee spirit, something creamy, whether it's actual cream or a cream liqueur, and probably creme de cacao, and probably my brown sugar cinnamon syrup. So just like a a strong, sweet, creamy thing, and definitely in a martini glass. Definitely. So official Justin, on the very odd occasion, a Vienna with a slight sprinkle of chocolate, but that's it. No, AZ was like 8 to 10 sugars in a coffee. Be a strong coffee, but with milk or cream, and then like 8 to 10 sugars. Like he would freak people out in cafes with how much sugar he put in a coffee. So the hazelnut Helliers. I mean, honestly, yes, Kirsten, for just absolute chaos. And my only sort of downer with making this, the Code Grey espresso martini, I think AZ never got to taste the blasphemy whiskey uh, coffee spirit, and he never got to taste the hazelnut Helliers because he would have fucking loved it. He really would have loved it. So I'll probably get all wistful when I make that. The other one I was going to make, it was a super strong Sazerac and call it the Devil's Sazerac for AZ. They were the two AZ drinks I had in mind. The Code Grey Espresso Martini and the Devil's Sazerac. Official Justin, what's nice sweet hot drink? Vanilla chai latte, shot of Irish cream. Nice. I mean, I've made a few things because Mrs. Angry has quite a few exotic teas, and where I often use them is either to make a syrup for cocktails or as a base in a clarified cocktail. Because the great thing about clarified cocktails is how they soften flavors. So if you put tea in there, which is a great flavor, but make it like really super fucking strong, like way stronger than you'd ever have it, and then add it to booze and whatnot and clarify it. And what comes out the other end has the essence of those flavors, but without the harshness. And I've done that a few times and you make fucking kick-ass drinks. So, yeah. So maybe I have to do that soon. I missed AZ's birthday. AZ's birthday was a month or so ago. I don't think I want to wait till that next year. But yeah, I definitely want to do some AZ commemorative drinks. And I've mostly sorry, so far I was. Did that right winger actually win the presidential election in Argentina? I know an absolute fucking weirdo fringe right wing looper did well in the early rounds of the vote counting. I don't know exactly how they do it. Actually, you know what? We're on the internet. I could look it up. Argentina election. Post shock win. Okay, what did Reuters say? Buenos Aires. Argentine voters punished the country's main political forces, primary elections, pushing a rock-slinging libertarian outsider into first place. With 90% of ballots counted, far-right libertarian had 30% of the votes, far higher than predicted. Main conservative opposition on 28%, the ruling coalition on 27%. Result is a stinging rebuke. Voting in primaries is obligatory. Okay, so the general election is not till October 22. So this guy who's like a fringe Trump-loving weirdo is doing far better than expected. There you go. Well, Argentina, it is where all the Nazis went. That's a great grab, Safa. Tantric sex coach, Donald Trump admirer, Javier Milei, said he thinks climate crisis is a socialist lie. Yeah. So I just did a cursory search. I don't think the election has actually happened yet. So you're watching a 1977 movie called Roller Coaster. Okay. Is that a disaster movie where roller coasters go wrong? They were big on that in the 70s. It just made me think of the oh god, what are they called? I'm thinking of all their songs and I can't remember their names. Under the Bridge of Water, but just a roller coaster toaster in a big four-poster bed. Kirsten, I also have to go to bed. Oh yes, okay, it is a disaster film. Yeah, like Earthquake, The Towering Inferno. Yes, they were so big on the disaster movies in the late 70s. It was a whole thing. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Why was it so hard for me to remember the Red Hot Chili Peppers name? God damn it. Actually, I know why it was hard for me to remember. Because of the amount of alcohol I had consumed. Mrs. Angry hasn't told me she's going to bed yet. But you know what? I think I might. Yeah, and you're right, Official Justin. There are far-right parties everywhere. It was kind of funny. Jim Carrey upset Mussolini's granddaughter by doing a little bit of artwork of Mussolini and his mistress hanging upside down from a light pole in the street. And she got really, and she was on this whole rant that she'd sue anyone in the court who slandered Mussolini. And it's like, fucking hell. Jesus. Okay, last little sip I'm having. I'm having another sip of this Jameson's orange liqueur. And then I'm going to eat the cherry. And even though Mrs. Angry hasn't messaged me yet, I'm going to finish it. Just going to stir this. Chill it a little bit. A little bit of a... Okay, I swear to God, the orange aroma on this stuff is fucking awesome. Honestly, that's genuinely pretty good. I do not hate that. All right, I'm just throwing it out there. Jameson's orange, not bad. Again, it's possibly something that would go really well with a mixer. But it's got a real genuine orange. It's like orange peel flavor in it. It's really fucking yummy. Anyway, all right. So, I'm going to round off. For those who missed it, I actually ended up with 2 cherries. So, the universe just told me I deserve 2 cherries. And I was not going to argue with you. Oh my God, these are so fucking yummy. Not going to argue with the universe. When the universe said I should have 2 cherries. Yeah, we talked for an extra 30 minutes because, I don't know, Mrs. Angry didn't tell me she'd gone to bed. So I'd be surprised if she should have gone to bed and didn't tell me. So I just started the stream a couple minutes early because I was shooting a video. So it's like, oh, you know what? I'm ready to shoot a video. So rather than worrying about starting right on 8, I'll just start the stream and start shooting. So I did actually start a couple minutes early. So it is sleepy times. Visual dressing usually not keep me awake. It's just a whole thing. I was waiting for Mrs. Angry to tell me she was going to bed, and I did not get such a message. But I'm going to do it now because I don't know, maybe tomorrow night, Friday night, party night, might fucking go off. Who knows? Who knows? I will literally probably spend a chunk of tomorrow deciding what I'm going to do for party knife. Party knife, yeah. That's a throwback from when I lived in Sunshine. Fucking knife and be party knife. No, party night. And what cocktails I might make for party night. I will think about it. Look, honestly, it might be AIDS Memorial drink time. I've been thinking about doing that for ages. Might do it. We'll see. Yes, it is time for Sleepy Bobos. Need to get a bit of sleep in so we can do a proper party night tomorrow night. And we will see what happens. And I hope you fine folk take care of yourselves. And I will see you